Hey guys, it's Max. How's everyone doing today? Let's do a report on ULTY. This is really badass fun because they're doing all the exotic option strategies, even more so than Yield Max. They're doing the Yield Max strategy, which is the cover call spread, which is exotic enough by itself and a great strategy, and is really helping the Yield Max universe. But it's really helping the ULTY universe too. So let's see. ULTY's up. What is ULTY up today? ULTY's up 1.44 today. I'm saying that its benchmark is maybe the Russell because it's the most volatile of the indexes. So that's the best thing I had to compare it with. Russell's actually down a little bit today, but maybe it's not a great comparison with the Russell today. But even if you compare it with the triple Qs, it's up about exactly twice as much as the NASDAQ. So it's been a hell of a day for ULTY. It's due in no small part to the strategy. That's kind of the theme of my station is the strategy is everything. There's no free money, but the strategy is everything. Once you understand the strategy, then you have it figured out. That once you understand the strategy, you know what to expect. All right, so let's look. Speaking of the strategy, some of these ULTY positions are still, where is this? Right here. Some of these ULTY positions are still just basic covered calls. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, the ones that are basic covered calls, lots of them are super far out of the money covered calls. There's nothing really wrong with the super far out of the money covered call. Covered calls are all right on stocks that are super, super volatile where you can write the stock way out of the money, but on stocks like Apple and stuff and more kind of like everyday stocks, you end up capping a lot of upside. And kind of in my opinion, but in any event, the covered call spread uncaps part of that upside. All right. So like for instance, AMSC, American Superconductor Corporation, that is just a straight, let's just pull it up right here. American Superconductor. All right, so that's just a straight covered call. He wrote the 27 strike option. Right now, the stock's trading at 22 something. So the stock can go up 20% from here, and he makes the same upside that somebody would make if they just had the stock by itself. The upside's not capped at all for a while. So when you write really far out of the money covered calls on these volatile stocks, I don't know what he brought in for this because but it's trading at 98 cents today. He probably did it yesterday at $1.20 or something. In any event, these are really nice trades. So most of the trades I'm calling are that style, which is not the multi-legged, more exotic ones. So let's cover the multi-legged, more exotic ones. Okay, so ULTY, Tesla, here's the first one. It's up $1 million right now. Okay, now this was a covered call spread. This is Jay's kind of signature move. What a great move. Anyway, the thing with this is it's uncapped above the top strike, and you can see Tesla had a great big earnings surprise, so it easily went well beyond the top strike. Still made a $78,000 credit. That's important. Look at this, $78,000 credit and $1 million upside. Here's your father's covered call. Here's last generation's covered call. And by last generation, we're talking 3 months ago. Literally, this is the way it was 2 months ago. This was the standard. People don't realize how good Defiance and Yield Max are and how lucky they are to have Jay trading for them. We have lots of talented. There's other talented fund managers too. But, this guy's amazing. So this is the way you would have done the old day. Yes, you would have had more income. You would have had $107,000 instead of just 78. So in the old way of doing it, you have made $107,000 plus $500,000. That's great. That is great, right? Well, I just don't like capped upside, and no one does. That's always been the one problem with covered calls. Jay solved it. Now you make 78,000, so you make about, 60, 70% as much money. But you have nearly $1 million worth of, upside compared to $500,000 the other way. It's an additional $400,000 or $500,000 worth of alpha that's other managers have left on the table for years until Jay invented the covered call spread. He didn't really invent it, but he's the first one to bring it to the masses. I'm sure hedge funds do it and other people do it, but I've never heard of it on a retail level. It's not in a book. I don't think you see covered call spread in a book, but I've made up some option trades too that aren't in books. That's not all that unusual to make up an option trade that's not in a book. All right. I mean, there's a jillion variations out there. All right. So that's good. So that's probably most of the reason why ULTY is up. Let's look at the other ones. They also did a trade on UPST. So UPST is just your standard covered call spread. On this one, they were wanting prices above 64. UPST, the stock, is not cooperating with them. They can set the trap with the call spread, but the stock still has to walk into it, right? So this stock's down today. They needed higher prices. Now, this is Upstart Holdings. Now, they do have earnings in 14 days. I don't know if that's what Jay is thinking of. The last time they beat earnings really bad, it was a big earnings surprise. So we'll see. We'll see. And also this one's breaking out, but we shall see. So let's see. He has that one. What else do they have on as far as the multi-legged strategies? Upstart. This is a cool one. SMR. New Scale Power, I believe. They make small nuclear, like portable, like I think they can drive them around on the back of a truck, nuclear reactors. Anyway, this is supposed to be a real important technology for the future. Well, Jay must agree because he bought 500,000 shares and then he simultaneously sold a call for 48 cents. Then he turned around and he bought a call for 18 cents. So the difference between 48 and 18, of course, is 30 cents. Well, 30 cents times 5,000 contracts equals $150,000. He brought in $150,000 to do it this way. And his upside's not capped. But anyway, that's an example of the trade itself's not working out. Stock's going the wrong direction. Like I say, it doesn't matter how good of an option trader you are. If you put on a bullish option trade, you still need the stock to go up. To me, what makes the difference between a good option trader and a bad option trader is an option trader that can find a way to put on a trade that makes more when the stock goes up than other option traders would think about doing. But, no matter how good your multi-legged strategy is, in ULTY's case, all of ULTY's stocks have a long bias. ULTY's long bias. All of their trades, are long stock, and then their option trades may have a hedge element, but still stock plus the option. ULTY's a long fund. The market pulls back, ULTY probably won't do well. ULTY's a bullish fund. That's why I cannot wait for short ULTY. Short ULTY's going to be the shit. I cannot wait for short ULTY. All right, so there's SMR. It's up a little bit. Okay, now this Netflix, this is the most exotic of all the trades. And this one is one you could do in your own account. And I have done with one. I would recommend a variation on it to make it a little bit less risky. Anyway, let's take a look at what Jay's done first. He bought 14,000 shares of Netflix. Netflix is up today. It's up lately, so it's doing great. And in addition to doing that, he sold a put spread and he bought a call spread. So he bought stock, that's bullish. Sold puts, that's bullish. Bought calls, that's bullish. He's triple bullish on Netflix. It has been for a while since I started following these multi-leg strategies. Anyway, you know, Netflix is killing it. Netflix is killing it. He's up big money. All right, so here is one variation on that trade that to me is an interesting trade. Jay's done it with the stock, but I've done this before without the stock. This is like a risk reversal. This is like a trade called a risk reversal where you sell puts to buy calls. But a risk reversal does not have defined risk. This is, to me, is like a defined risk reversal. But you're selling a put spread to buy a call spread. Let's change this target price so we can see this better. 500. Okay. So the put spread you sell, you sell. I mean, in this case, Jay sold these puts for 16. He bought these puts for 7. So he made the difference. So that was $7 he brought in. But then on this call spread, he like sold some calls for $3 and then bought some calls for 70 cents. Call spread cost him $2.30. So he brought in $7 on this other one. He made the difference, $5 or whatever. That's what he's paying the dividend with. Jay's position also owns stock. I'm saying you could do these 4 options by themselves without owning stock, and it makes a really nice, attractive trade. And it makes a trade that basically doesn't have to go anywhere, kind of like an iron condor, and it makes money. It has a big flat spot in the middle. In this case, $90,000. It gets to keep the income. But unlike an iron condor, it has a bonus where if it goes up above 800, it makes extra money. Okay, but then it's capped out again at 850. But between 800 and 850, there's 50 extra points it can grab. Now, the downside is if it happens to fall off the ledge, it can lose 300,000. That's limited loss. So all Jay's done is add it plus stock. I've done that trade before. That's selling put spreads to buy call spreads. It's a great idea when you're bullish. A trade like that's great. Okay, so now I'm trying to make these shows more practical. So we've covered most of the ULTY trades. So now I'm going to show you guys how to apply this to your own account in real life, and maybe how I might or something. So let's see. So what do we have? So Jay did this on Netflix. I think, did Netflix have earnings? I don't know, but or maybe it has earnings coming up. We'll see right here. Now, earnings in 84 days, so they just had earnings. Okay, well, that's why he's been in it for a while. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So as a pre-earnings trade, it's not a bad play. Now, let me show you. Let's do our own. So this is next week. Who has earnings? Look at this. How about Meta? Facebook after the bell. Let's see. Let's construct this for Facebook. We'll just start with the covered call, but I mean, we're going to change everything. There's no way this one's not pre-programmed in there. Okay. Well, we actually don't even need. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's start with the bull put spread. Okay. So all we're going to do is we add a buy call and add a sell call. Boom. Okay. And the key is to get a credit. Here we go. Here's a good one right here. You make $220. Do this trade of Meta for pre-earnings. All Meta has to do, it has to expire in the week that earnings is. So it expires next week. Okay. Okay, so here's a similar idea for Facebook earnings next week. Okay, the play is, of course, you hold it until after earnings are announced. I mean, here's the profit loss graph. probably around the time earnings are announced. So basically, it's just like stock, similar to stock, shooting for higher prices, right? The higher, the better. But your advantage or the alpha, the edge in this trade comes from holding it till expiration. If you have to, you can hold it till expiration and you get to keep the $200 credit. You do this trade, it costs $200 less to buy the call spread than it does to sell the put spread. So you get to keep the $200 unless Meta misses by more than 4%. If they're down by more than 4%, then you're gonna lose money. Max loss on this is $3,700. But you don't start losing a penny until they drop 4%. That's your built. It's like starting a race with like starting a 100-yard dash, but you start at the 40-yard line. It gives you a huge advantage. And this is all Jay was doing. Now he has stock with it too, but forget about the stock. I think it's fine to do it this way. Just bring in the income, make $210. Take your wife to dinner, like I always say. Let's say they hit earnings. Well, you'll make a couple $1,000, $2,000-$3,000, something like that. There's many worse ways to play earnings than that. I haven't played this kind of strategy in a while, but that's what Jay's doing on Netflix. So if you guys want to, I will save that trade. Let's see, we'll call it an earnings idea. Inspired by Jay, right? All right, I'll post that. I thought it's interesting to bring these into real life as well. So other than that, Jay also has a position on a MicroStrategies that's up. It's killing it. It's just a covered call spread. Pretty much everything's killing it today. The Netflix position's up nearly $1 million. Enphase is the one we haven't looked at yet. Enphase Energy, symbol is ENPH. It's a covered call spread, but the stock went down. So it's really nothing. Or I'm sorry, this is actually a caller, and we're glad we did a caller because it caps how much we can lose if we make a bad pick. And this is looking like a bad pick. I mean, this was a bad pick. Now, what Jay did is he sold the 100 strike call to finance to buy the 79 strike put and still get a credit. The credit's what he pays you with, but he's insured, he's insured his bet where he doesn't have unlimited loss. Now, it looks like the stock dropped, but not far enough for the insurance to kick in. So that's good. That's good. But if the stock, it's nice to know if the stock had dropped, your loss is limited. Another way to look at that is if Jay would have done a closer, like if Jay would have done, well, I was trying to move the strikes closer to kind of do like a what if, but any event, wherever that put is that it defines your max loss. So all the trades look pretty good except for this Enphase one. All the more exotic ones. We can look at the we can look here, but I've already looked at these. I've already looked through to make sure. Oh, look, there's a new one I haven't caught yet. Darn it. Well, let's look at this real quick. It looks like he has Mara. And then he sold a 22 strike call. He sold a 19 strike call, bought it 20. Okay, it's a covered call spread on Mara. Great trade. Okay, let's see how Mara's doing today. I should have caught this yesterday. I downloaded the new trades, and I didn't see that in the new trades. Okay, well, Mara's sideways today, or Mara's unchanged actually on the day. Okay, well, this could be an interesting trade. Okay, let's just go do this real quick. So what we're gonna do is we'll build a cover call on Mara. We'll check this one out tomorrow. And he sold the 19.5 strike put, and he did it for this week. Okay, and then they had a buy call. I'm sorry, call, not put. Then he bought, I think it was the 22.5. It was the It was just the 22. Okay, so that's Jay's play and Mara. Now I'm just going to save that. We'll check that one out tomorrow and see how that one's doing. It looks like today it's, Mara's pretty much sideways. Interesting to watch Mara. So we're rooting for Mara, Tesla, Upstart, SMR, Netflix, Enphase, what else? American Superconductor Corporation, Calumet Inc., Triple Leverage Biotech, LABU, Mara, MSTY. He's killing it in MSTR. Let's make sure that's still the same. Yeah, it is. Novavax. Novavax is just a straight covered call. Maybe let's look at that really quick. 80,000. So he has 8,000 call options with 11.5 strike. No, I don't want to do that. All right, so let's just do that real quick. Put that one in there. I didn't get the symbol on it. There's NVAX. There it is. Okay. Switch the expiration to this week. There's the 11.5 strike, and he did. He did this. Got 80,000 shares. And so that means he has, or he shorted 8,000 options. I may have a 0. $800,000 shares. Anyway, so on a trade like this, Novavax is only trading at 10 or something. He's not capped till 11.5. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you're fully capped, but you aren't giving up that much when you can make 16%. And that goes straight to the NAV. That's not for paying the dividend. The dividend will come from the credit for this option, but it's far enough. If it's sufficiently far out of the money, I think it's great or whatever. But this covered call spread really solves a problem on the less volatile stocks that you really have to sell options closer to the money, like Apple and stuff. All right, because then occasionally they do go on runs and you can still participate in it. So we'll save this trade also, and we'll check it out as well tomorrow. All right, well, that's been your ULTY update today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a nice day.